Welcome to another edition of Nutri-Rebel Red Pill Edition, where we try to make integrative ideas great again. And there isn't much integrity out there these days in the reductionist world that we live in, where we try to separate and isolate things, especially for politicians do that to sell votes. And this is what this so-called politician is doing in Canada. He wasn't even elected. He's trying to push a collectivist solution to the housing crisis in Canada. Oh my gosh.
I'm an immigrant from Eastern Europe. If anybody would have told me 10 years ago that I would come a day where I would live in America and American citizens would be in favor of communism, I would have laughed in their face. I have yet to meet anybody in my home country that was in favor of communism, so let me put it this way.
Yeah.
When they came in power, they seized all private property. You had punch card guys to get bread. No meat, no eggs, no stuff like that. And like I said, nobody's in favor of it.
This is what I call the politics of fear, the conservative politics. We're heading for the hungry 30s. Why say that?
Well, maybe because it was true. Only we'd be calling them the hungry 90s.
This has been happening in Canada for decades. Nothing is done.
The budget will balance itself.
Yep. And look at Canada's crushing debt. It would take Drake 2,000 years to pay off Ontario's $312 billion debt. But a lot of people think Canada's rich. I said, no, we're not. We're heavily in debt. Look this up if you don't believe me.
Respond to the presence of the hateful with fear and nausea. We're becoming healthy, that's all.
And Canada does not have free healthcare. We don't even have healthcare, and we don't even have sick care. But it should be called sick care, but we don't even have that. Look at all these diseases that have been popping up across, especially the Western world. Why do you think that is? So these are the intersecting topics we try to address here. Not many other people do. And Carney also duplicates the opposition party's platform. That's what he's doing. He's not even coming up with his own stuff.
It's also why today I am announcing that a Pierre Poilievre-led common sense conservative government will axe the sales tax on new homes under $1 million.
So if he penetrates the cabinet,
will eliminate the GST for first-time home buyers on all new and substantially renovated homes under $1 million.
Yep.
And also the actual post from the World Economic Forum about this. So Canada's next PM, now current PM, working with Vancouver Condo King on foreign investment. I mean, this just goes to show the open air corruption and better dwelling exposing it really good here. So Canada's next leader hasn't officially assumed the role, but he's already looking to stimulate real estate. Last week, Vancouver's Condo King, Bob Rennie, revealed that he is working with the newly minted LPC leader, Mark Carney, who's now the Prime Minister. The two are considering a plan that would see the country's state-owned mortgage insurer use taxpayer resources to attract foreign investment for rental properties. The plan is about as bonkers as one would assume, and similar to the one that got Canada into the position that it's in the first place. And the position that he's talking about, of course, is the massive real estate bubble. But having, obviously, more rentals is all part of the World Economic Forum's plan, so that you have no control over your life and you rent absolutely everything. And
I'm the spokesperson. They're the experts. I'm the spokesperson. They're the experts.
And here he admits it. He admits that he's only the spokesperson. He speaks for the experts. Technocracy.
So, look, thank you for everything you're doing. The government's here for you. These guys are here for you. I'm the spokesperson. They're the experts.
Do these guys look like guys and girls look like they believe him?
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
No.
Thank you.
to summarize, plan.
So what's changed in the last 30 years? Lots of things have changed. The food supply has been degraded. Believe me, it's bad. Look at all these chronic diseases that are popping up everywhere. We wonder why. If you don't know where to live, we wonder why. If you can't afford decent food, we wonder why. You can't afford personalized help, we wonder why.
Another one of my favorite diseases is Alzheimer's disease. It's a physician-caused disease. It's a pretty powerful statement. It's a physician-caused disease. We didn't have Alzheimer's disease 40 years ago. It was not in any medical dictionary, medical textbooks. It was not taught in any medical class. It only became a disease entity in 1979. Today, according to Ralph Nader, it rivals cancer in cost, $300,000 per patient, and it's the number 4 killer of adults over the age of 65 behind cardiovascular disease, cancer, diabetes, then comes Alzheimer's disease. Now, we eliminated Alzheimer's disease from animals from 40 years ago. Can you imagine a dairy farmer with 400 head of cows out in the pasture with Alzheimer's disease, and he's yelling at them, woo, and rattling the feed bucket trying to get them up to get milk. And the cows are all out there scratching their heads saying, why do we want to go to the barn to get milk? And if we did, where's the barn? Because he kind of, so the farmer has to put fuel in the ATV and ride out there and herd them up, and the fuel cost goes up, labor cost goes up, so they have to raise the price of milk. Nobody's happy. So we eliminated Alzheimer's disease by eliminating vegetable oil, corn oil, and soy oil from the animal's diet and putting in large doses of vitamin E and selenium.
So why don't we do that for humans? Why? Where do we think all these diseases come from? It's not because you're short on drugs and vaccines.
Nutrient deficiencies are the underlying cause of so many illnesses and symptoms. And chances are you are walking around with undiagnosed deficiencies. The first thing you need to know is that blood work doesn't work. The reason for this is that nutrients are stored in the tissue, not in the blood. For example, less than 1% of magnesium is actually found in your blood. 99% are in the bones, teeth, and soft tissue.
Therefore, that's what we're trying to address on this channel. The politicians and the so-called experts are not addressing the root causes of nearly anything. They're basically just papering everything over. Look at this woman here. This might be a little exaggeration, but back in the 80s, your dollar was worth more. $20 would get you a cart full of groceries. Now it gets you maybe a handful. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And doctors used to be trained in cellular nutrition. Now they're not. That stopped in around the 1950s, long time ago, 70 or 80 years ago. And the other reason is that the soil is poor. Look up these stats. This is not the same everywhere in the world, but especially Western culture, when all the food is processed, it's shipped off very quickly for mass consumption. Tons of less nutrients in it. And the reference ranges. Look at the bottom left, the middle there. What's normal in North America is not normal in another part of the country. So if you go to your doctor's office, they'll tell you something's normal. How do you think that? Do you know for sure if that's normal? And do they test? Are they trained in medical nutrition? No. They get very limited training in it. Because if they did, like I said, like the previous Dr. Wallach said, there would be virtually no diseases. They do it for animals. Why don't they do it for us? Therefore, we need lower cost, quality housing, but the politicians aren't going to give that to us. They're just going to give us more collectivism, socialism they socialize the profits, and they privatize they socialize the losses and they privatize the profits. That's what communism really is. It's insane. Therefore, I encourage you to visit this free symptom measure tool that I have. I'm trying to help people here, and that's even a free tool. It's very general. But anyway, if you like the content I'm covering here, please like and subscribe.